Welcome back. Here's an artwork definitely takes the time. Not too hard, but just how to layer it. I think this one gets to show you that you can have a little bit of fun on the nails and be a little bit more advanced on what you're doing. Well, you know, lighting is always an issue, but here we go. So once again, you would have a completely enhanced nail finished file with a base coat on and then cured. Then you can come in with your gel polish colors. Our theme today has definitely been, using these because it's spring. But you can obviously use any color combination that you want. This one is, I don't know if it's a zebra, giraffe, cow fun mix. I'm not quite sure what to call it except for fun. So behind her, this is the one that we'll do our zebra on. I do want to use kind of a cloudy pink just to give the background color of their nail, or like in this case, the glue, a softness to it. So I'm going to grab Bubble Bath by OPI. It's definitely always one of my go-tos for like what a cover pink would be. It's still sheer, but as you can tell, it just gives an even tone to what the nail bed would be or whatever's behind it. Allow it to settle and cure. I'm going to go ahead and apply that to all of these. Anytime that I leave the base clear, and most of my art is on the tip, I really do like to use something that gives an overall polished effect, and Bubble Bath is one of those. Does not have a shimmer in it. As it grows out, you cannot see the polish line, so it's a nice grow out color. Allow it to settle and cure. There is a tacky layer, but that's okay. I'm going to come in behind my giraffe, zebra, cow mix. This is how I do a smile line. I put my bristles about where their free edge would be. I'm going to pretend it's right there. I angle my brush up the sides and repeat that on the other. To give you the nice smile line. So it's a little bit uneven, so I'm going to add a little bit more to this side. Go over it one final time. Nice, easy smile line. Cure that one. This one is a combination of two colors. Put pink on the center. Then I'm going to use my smile line to come over the sides using my turquoise. I'm going to go right next to it. And then I'm going to wipe majority of it off. And then I'm going to come in and slightly start overlapping these two to give me that fade, and it gives me a purple. Remove the excess again, slightly overlap this side. Wipe off the excess. so you don't contaminate your color, and then put that into the light. And we'll do the same thing to change it up though. Let's do these two because that's going to give me an orange. So I'm going to I'll do pink down the center again. Yellow up the side. Try not to touch that pink yet. Okay, wipe off the excess and then start blending. Wipe off the excess and then blend this side. Wipe it off completely and then cure that. So you can kind of see up close. It just does a soft blend. One thing about using a napkin, it didn't soak all the way through, so I can refold it over, and then it's not going to get me wet. It's our pink one. This design, we have so much art on it, you can do one coat. You don't have to do 2 coats as long as it's solid all the way across. Here's our blended one. Our other blended one. So this one has flowers on it, and they're double layered flowers. So I'm gonna put my gel polish on my palette, which is my glass top table. You don't need that much, just a dollop of each. And white. So this one will do the turquoise flower. So these are double dot daisies. So you're going to want to use a big side and then a medium side, however it kind of fits in. So they're dot daisies. So you're going to dot where you want your petals to be. Allow it to settle just enough to make it a circle, and then you're going to want to cure that. And this one I'll do pink. Allow it to set just a moment and cure. Then I'm going to mix these two together and get myself a lighter shade and come in just slightly and go underneath where I just was. And then cure that. And the same thing on the pink. Mix these two together. Get my lighter shade. I'm going to drag those in just a little bit so they come into the center. And then cure that. Back to this one. I think for fun, I'm going to take the smaller end of the dotting tool And so I'm going to have black on here. In fact, maybe I should do that at this point. You know, there's a point where you have to stop and go, okay, I got to complete my design. There's black on the zebra, cow, giraffe, animal. And so I want to type black in on the others. And being that it's kind of a triangled effect, I like to use the striper. Come in from one side. Wherever you touch first is going to be your whitest, and as you drag, you slightly lift up, and it's going to give it a tapered effect. But I want it whiter than that, so I'm going to come down and add to it, and then add a thinner line up. Now I know that I could put a little flower here or a trail of dots there, or another flower here I think would balance that out, and definitely in the pink. And we'll just do a small little dot daisy. I'm not going to drag it to the center because I want it to be dots. And then cure that. So likewise on this one, I'm going to bring in my striper. I'm going to follow that smile line around. Make it a little bit wider. And instead of coming across the color, maybe come up a thin line up the nail and make it meet. Abstract is fun. This one, if I add blue, it's not going to show up. I could do it like that one and add it there, and we'll kind of have a similar theme. But I want to do something different. I think I'm going to bring in white. I can use a little bit of white off of this side. I'm going to do a dot daisy in white. And why not add a little trail of dots up that side, just to give it a little dimension. And cure that. So on here, I did a trail of dots on the other one. Let's bring in a trail of dots here. I'll make it fade out to the side. I need some centers to my flowers. I think I'll use white again. And why not bring in a little bit of fun and add little white dots? Just frame it in however you think it needs. How fun is that? Dots can really make a difference. And same thing on here, it needs a center to the flower. The center of that one though, I'm going to make blue so it shows up. And I'm going to frame in with some little white dots. And why not add a little bit more of that turquoise inside of there? And cure that. How fun is that? Almost circus-like, which is what our animal is mimicking, so you can see how it starts to pull together. So for my zebra, cow, giraffe, I needed a nude kind of color for his face. And even though this is one of the artistic, it's supposed to be pink, we all know that sometimes the inside color is a different color. So this one's a nice flesh tone. I'm going to need more white for the head. The bow is turquoise, so I'll reuse that turquoise. And the rest of the body is actually more white, so I'm going to add a little bit more white again. I always love the palettes. Sometimes I just want to save that and turn it to art. So there's those two next to each other. How fun are they? Alright. So the mouth area fits more of a cow and the giraffe. And it has a rounding to it. Nice and plump. It's been out grazing all day and is happy. It's going to be outlined to highlight this, so it's just a nice nude, neutral color for it. Make sure you don't have any brush strokes, or in this case, my dotting tool. I want to make sure it's completely even. And I know that's not really going to move around, so it gives me a chance to come in and add the long, lengthy giraffe neck. Just fill that in. You want to try to keep it thin, but yet you need good coverage. So sometimes you have to do 2 coats. But if you allow it to self-level out and take some time with it, you'll realize that you'll get a nice coating on it. So at this point, I don't want this to move around, so I'm going to go ahead and cure that. Like always, I always do a full, complete cure. I don't like quick cures because sometimes they don't always turn out the way that you want them to. These 2 are actually ready just to be top coated. So I'm going to set those to the side. For its cheeks, I'm going to add a little bit of pink into my blush color just to get another nice neutral blended color for the face. So with my dotting tool, I'm going to come in and give these really soft pink cheeks. And it's okay if those kind of spread out a little bit. Very nice and soft. Now for the head, you're going to come up. So here's the top of his nose. So I want the width to stop about there, which means I need to bring my sides up from that. And then eyes are going to be somewhere in here to be kind of level. So I know that I need the top of the head to be equal height. So the top of the head to be about right here. This is solid white, so you're going to fill that in, and then you can start to see your character come together. A little bit more on this side. And ears. No rhyme or reason. I always say the wonkier the better, you know. You can give it the zebra ears and make them kind of pointed, or you can give them more of the rounded ears. And once again, you'll need to set this in the light. So I'm done with the pink. I'm done with the white. I'm going to make the bow the turquoise. So I'm not ready to clean this off just yet, although you really could if you wanted to. But you can tell I always, even 1 dollop of the gel polish is always too much. But when I have a mixture going, I'd rather have a little bit too much because this does not cost that much to waste. And so, you know, you could use less than what I do, but I'm used to just using a dollop. So here's the outline of him. He had a little bow, and I did that in turquoise just to be opposite of the pink. So I draw it out a triangle. And then I mimic really close. I leave a little bit of a space in between. I mimic that on this other side. And then clean off your dotting tool. Take a dot of it and a dot for the center of the bow. Actually, I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. Make the bow fatter. And then cure. Like I said, this is one that takes more time, but isn't it so worth it? So I'm done using these, so I can clean this up. I'm just going to use alcohol and paper towel. So there's the outline. Here's the hard part, is truly outlining this. I have many ways. I have learned the best way is remove the tacky layer or use a matte finish coat. Sometimes matte finish will make this look a little bit cloudy, so I like to see if I can just remove the tacky layer first. I'm going to use a marker, and this is just a Paper Mate flare, and I'm going to outline it. And if for some reason it doesn't work, then I go into the matte finish. So I'm going to use that makeup wedge. And even though there's not that much of a sticky layer, I still go in and I remove the tackiness. Let it completely dry. And then I cross my fingers and hope that it works. Sharpies, when I put a top coat on, turn blue. And I've learned that this one stays black. So there is a difference in what you're using. It's a very fine point. And then you come in and outline. If you don't remove that tacky layer, this outlining doesn't come off because the gel, the tacky layer, gets on your marker and will make it not right. Just give it a slight outline. But I want that more solid, so I just use this to outline that. And I come in with a black striper. Shake it really well to get it as thin as you can. And hold your breath, cross your fingers, keep your eyes straight. For me, I have to wear my glasses. And create an eyeball in this area. And one here. And really fine eyelashes. You can tell I got down just a little bit too far right there. So I'm going to take my pointed end of my dotting tool. I'm going to kind of push the paint back up while it's still a little bit wet so that I can get it off. There's a little bit of a trace there, but after that dries I can come in with another fine brush and kind of wipe that out. We're going to create a smile for him or her. Over the pink area where the cheeks were, we're going to add the two little lines. We're going to bring that together. Just make you happy, huh? We're going to add in our zebra effect, just like what we did on the other ones. Put it down and drag it. I don't do this with the marker because it's not as solid. And then the marker sometimes when you put your top coat on can kind of run a little bit, and this does not. So just to highlight a little bit where I can with the striper, I'm going to come around and just add a little bit. Doesn't have to be solid, just to give it a little bit more depth. Start to see how it pops out. It's cute. And the bows are the same way. Just highlight the tips to give it a little bit of a crispness. If you're really steady-handed, you can go in and add some definition in the bow. I know that I'm not. So I'm going to take a very fine tip and put a little bit of acetone on it. And where I don't want color, I'm going to go in and wash that right away. I can say I probably could have moved my bow up a little bit and made the eye a little bit more pronounced, but you know, you never know as you're doing this. I'm going to attempt to make this other eye come down just a little bit more to fill that in. And it kind of evened her out. Many times I've gone back in and added 2 little dots for a nose, and I've always taken it right back off, so I realize I don't like that part of the nose, but obviously you could figure out what you want to do to add to her from there. So this just needs to air dry just for a moment. You can kind of see where this circusy fun theme is coming together, but we're not done yet. So I want to add flowers or spirals or something to the outside of her. So let's play. I'm going to use white. I'm never ever good at spirals, but why not try it again? I got this new brush. I'm going to load it up with my gel polish and see if I can pull some good spirals in. Wherever you touch first is going to be your whitest. Use the very tip. Spiral it around. And then I'm going to come up side down on this side. So I'm going to go my biggest part down here. Using the tip first. Drag that around. Make this one a little bit wider. How cute. Clean off your brush. I'm going to come in with my dotting tool and add some of those little dot daisies like what we did on the other one. Add one down there, or up there, and one down here. I'm going to drag these ones in just a little bit. And then do the 3 little dots that we did. I need something here. There. That looks much better. And we're going to cure that in the light. Okay, back to my brush. I would just take that in water and wipe it in one direction. Keep it clean. And then the next step is your no wipe top coat. Long, even strokes. Lightly cap your free edge. Allow it to settle out, and then cure. So the cost of this, we only did one coat of gel polish on the base over the whole thing, and then one layer on the ends. So it's not like there's a whole lot of gel polish on this. The rest of it just comes into the artwork. So truthfully, it would be similar to 2 whole layers that we use completely. So the cost is, there's not that much cost there. And then the striper, but it's the time. A Sharpie doesn't cost that much either. Alright, so on this one you have to watch out. Anytime you use a Sharpie or a marker, the more you wipe over it, the more it's going to allow that to run, and we don't want that to run. So I'm going to make sure that I have the right amount of gel polish on here. I'm going to push it up and then only go over it one time if possible, so that it does not run that around. Don't go over that one again. Allow it to settle out and then cure. So how fun is that? These ones by themselves are cute, so if you're uncomfortable going to that next step and doing the cute animal, I always tell people try it first and play with it on a tip like this, because once you get your system, when it's time to do it on a client, the anxiety level's not as high. So on this one we used gel polish, craft paint, dotting tools, a line brush, a marker, a striper, the new color for his face, top coat, and the cutest combo. So let's pose this picture up. And once again, thank you for joining me. I so much appreciate you.